to Shudders and Shivers Studio, the place where creepy tales are brought to life. My name is Mr. Night Terror, and I am not your friendly next-door neighbor. Oh, no. If you're looking for warm hugs and unicorns and... boy, you are in the wrong place. But if it's terrifying tales you hope to find, then get comfortable, because Mr. Night Terror is here to keep it creepy. Let us begin. And if you like my terrifying tales from my personal collection, consider subscribing so we can meet again.
I am a terrible fisherman. Now I know this, my daddy knew this, everyone in our quaint little town knows this. You know, my grandma told me that I have what we small town folk like to call the curse of the fisherman. Some people just repel things, child, she explained after another failed attempt at the lake. Now my brother Bobby had no curse. Oh no, you see, his fishing rod never left him disappointed. Now my dad would take both of us out on his little boat, and only one of us would put a smile on his wrinkled old face. Oh, that sure as hell wasn't me. I'd like to say that I'm talented in other areas, and oh Lord, I wish I could. But I'm not the creative type, and to be honest, I ain't that bright either. Now the ladies sure don't come flocking either. I'm just merely here, taking up space. You see, I'm just a curse carrier. Now my dad died on a Wednesday, and since he was a decent husband and a father, the family suffered greatly. Now I had never been close with my daddy, feeling his resentment of the fisherman's curse from a young age. But Mama fell apart, as all women did when things went wrong. Now she packed her city bags and went to Auntie Margaret for a couple of days. Now Bobby and I didn't argue. We could do with a break from all this wailing she'd be doing. But Bobby was a silent sufferer, and I appreciated that about him. Now just before Daddy died, Bobby wanted to see Europe. I never understood that. Why leave one place to see another? Now, all places let you down eventually. In the end, everything becomes stale and dull, like the eyes of a fish that had been dead for a couple of days. Now the severity of Father's illness put a halt to Bobby's plans to see the world. Now, I hoped he'd awaken those plans once again one day. Now, living in his perfect shadow, well, it sure as hell was exhausting. Now though, with Daddy fresh in the ground, Bobby didn't seem to have much desire to do anything. Now seeing him this way was unsettling, you know. He was lifeless and just undriven. And to be honest, he resembled me in so many ways that I couldn't stand the sight of him. I guess that's why I suggested it. The one thing that would make Bobby smile. "Let's go fishing, Bob," I said, taking a deep drag from the cigarette hanging loosely from his lips. He seemed to consider my unusual offer. No, just a simple nod of the head set our plans in motion. Now the cool night air felt good on my skin. You know, the moon reflected brightly off the calm waters, offering light in an otherwise dark world. Now the fisherman and Bobby took over, completing tasks that had become second nature to him. It took his mind off of his suffering. Now I heard the familiar plump of his line hitting the water, and I knew it wouldn't be long before he had a bite. It never was, you know. I didn't even try. Why bother, right? Now, 2 fish, and a couple of years later, Bobby caught something unexpected. In all the years I have been a spectator to my brother's fishing, I had never seen such excitement when his fishing line came out of the water. "Well, I don't dang believe this," he said, as the moonlight caused the object to glitter as it hung from his hook. I sat up from the slouching position I had been in and couldn't believe my eyes. You know, I even rubbed them a couple of times, but they never changed what they saw. There, dangling from Bobby's fishing line, was a small golden box, a real-life treasure. Bobby looked up at the skies and smiled, the kind of smile that made me envious. No, I had never experienced happiness quite like that before, you see. Now he closed his eyes and he said, "Thank you, Daddy. You sent this to me to cheer me up, and it worked. I love you." Now, this might sound like a sweet interaction between father and son, and I suppose to Bobby that it was, but that made my blood boil. Now, it wasn't the box, you see. No. Instead, it just bugged me that Bobby would suggest that our father had sent him a treasure, and a treasure that required fishing, and a treasure that I would never have found because of my blasted fishing curse. Now I rose to my feet, now feeling the beer's effect on my unsteady legs as I moved closer to my brother. Now he was unaware of my actions now, for he only had eyes for his perfect little catch. A wave of anger unknown to me began to consume me like a flame burning through a withering forest. I couldn't control it, and honestly, I didn't want to. I was so tired of this blasted fisherman's curse and everything it brought with it. I guess that's why I lifted the paddle and hit my brother with it. Now his head made a soft cracking sound before hitting the boat's floor. A stream of blood started encircling my brother's head. Now it was polite and shy at first, but then it became more pressing, and soon all I could see was crimson. Now I didn't need to check my brother's pulse. I knew I had killed him. Had he deserved it? No, probably not. But stepping over my brother's body, I picked up the small box. It felt lighter than it looked, and my heart sank when I realized it was fake, just like my existence. Just a stupid children's toy. Shocked by what I had done, I threw the box back into the lake. It drifted for a few seconds, taunting me before sinking and disappearing from my sight. Now I needed to think. The problem with that was that thinking isn't something I'm really good at. And I knew Mama would be back any day now, and she'd be asking where Bobby is. So I did what I needed to do. I texted Mama from Bobby's phone, saying that I had finally decided to see the world. Now he would actually never be seeing anything ever again, you know? I thought about this as I stared into his lifeless eyes. Now my brother's body made a loud splash as it hit the water. No, it kinda seemed fitting for him to end up here at the lake he loved so much. I was exhausted and I returned home. Now, when I walked into our family home, I noticed Bobby's fisherman jacket. Now, I was sure he was wearing it tonight, but to be fair, I had enjoyed a few beers while witnessing my brother's luck. So I don't know. But my head was killing me. So I knocked back a few painkillers and chased him down with a few good gulps of whiskey, just to be safe. I welcomed the numbness that spread through me. I woke up with a startle, feeling the presence of something on me. And sitting up, I looked at the object that was perfectly placed on my chest while I lay sleeping. It was the small golden chest from the lake. Now from that day on, my fisherman's curse was no longer the only thing that followed me wherever I went.
We have come to the end of our spooky slope, friends. Join me, Mr. Night Terror, again next time for more chilling tales. Let's face it, life is so much better if you have a few shivers running down your spine. Sweet dreams, Daredevils.